Hey guys, it's Coach Brian Nugent here, and welcome back to Coffee and Tea with Coach B. And you know what? I'm going to be honest with you. We actually had some technical difficulties. Sean was at home. He already had his coffee and tea already. We actually had to stop it because the internet was too fucking slow, right? So he actually drove all the way here. Nice of him. And I drank my coffee. So we're going to make it work. We know it's coffee and tea with Coach B, and nobody ain't got no coffee, we ain't got no tea, but we got some hard-ass questions for a hard-ass dude. Is he ready? Yeah, he's good to go. All right,
I'm ready.
Let's do this. So, Sean, thanks for being here today.
Thanks for having
me. All
me.
right, I appreciate you driving in and stuff. And this is essentially a year in review, right, of essentially your progress, the time that you've been here at Pickering Fitness Wellness Centre. For those that are tuning in, it is December 21st, 2020. We're in the heat of COVID, right? You might be watching this now or 20 years from now. We're in the heat of it. We just got shut down again for 28 days. That's right. So we're part of history right now of things that are happening. And Sean, just to give you a rundown, this guy is a high caliber athlete. He played hockey at the university level on scholarship. He's got two athletic boys, beautiful wife, Allison. Right, he is the reigning Pickering Fitness and Wellness Center Athlete of the Year. So he is the real deal, right? And we got the real deal questions from. We don't know if it's going to be too hot for him. He might try to deke it out, but we'll find out, right? Sean, thanks for being here today.
Thanks for having me.
All right, Sean. So tell me what it was like with you growing up.
Growing up, my parents obviously provided a lot for my sister and myself growing up. I, as you mentioned, I played hockey pretty much through all my childhood into my early adulthood. And I look back and now having two boys, I kind of reflect on what my parents sacrificed for myself growing up. And it was a lot. There wasn't a weekend that, we weren't away on a tournament. And, when I say tournaments, these weren't local tournaments. These were Ottawa, Detroit, Chicago, Vancouver. We had summer travel teams, so we were never home on the weekends in the summer. I played all throughout kind of the year. And, looking back, my parents definitely gave me an opportunity to succeed. And, I try to, Allison and I are trying to do that with our boys and give them every opportunity to kind of be successful in life. But growing up, I was fortunate where my parents really, really sacrificed and provide a lot, so I can do something I enjoy and something I love.
Nice, beautiful. So, what would you say your childhood memories bring you the most joy?
Definitely sports related, but we had a lot of time outside the ring too that I look back on and very fond of. One of our athletes, Terry, she's got a cottage on West Lake near the Sandbanks, provincial Sandbanks. And my parents actually retired there about 15, 20 years ago. And we have a lot of great memories going up there. And nice being away from the rink once in a while and taking holidays. And, you don't really appreciate it till you go back and you bring your kids and, and spend some time there to really realize that, this is a great part of my childhood, and I try to pass that on to my boys and Allison.
Nice. Yeah. That's really good. Yeah, I find, for me growing up, the fondest memories I have is definitely growing up with all my siblings and having the fun of playing around and stuff. Yeah, for sure. Okay. So what would you say the best lesson your mom gave you growing up?
My mother was an Italian background, and her work ethic was second to none. She ran, for a living, she ran retail outlet stores. So some of those outlet stores, and I'm sure we've all been to them, that, the kind of they go on for a few weeks. Well, my mom would work anywhere from 70 to 120 days straight, 7 days a week, 12 hours on your feet. Because she ran them, she had to be there. She did the books, pretty much did security. She did everything, and she really instilled hard work. And also, if you're going to do something, do it fully and completely. Don't do it half-ass. If you're going to do something and you're going to love it, do it until you don't want to do it anymore. But if you are, just fully engulf yourself into whatever you're your passion is and whatever you're taking on for that moment in your life.
And I think that's a good lesson for all of us, right? If you're gonna do it hard.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So what would you say? I mean, your dad sounded like a tough guy. Looks like he had a good lessons. What would you say scared you the most about your dad? I know for me, it was my dad saying, go get the belt.
Yeah, that's a great question. And, my buddies and I, we joke around all the time with our dads because my dad was old school. He was 6'1", 220 pounds,
big guy, formidable dude. Yeah.
We called him the Tom Selleck stunt double. He had a big mustache, looked like a cop. When my dad spoke, you listened, and there were times where I got a funny story of when my dad asked me to do something, and when my dad asked me to do something, it was never wait a minute or wait a sec or hold on.
Yeah, that doesn't exist.
No, you did not. You did not say that to my dad. And I was helping him one time finish a basement, and I was getting frustrated with doing something. He said, "Sean, go get me this." And I said, "Dad, hold on."
Yeah.
And he looked at me, and as soon as I looked up, I knew I was screwed.
Yeah.
And the only thing that saved me was the extension cord caught around his feet, and he tripped because I took off and he took off after me. And it was the only thing that saved me. But my dad was one of those guys who, like I said, you listened when he spoke. When you got mad, you were scared, but he also had a loving hand. He did teach me a lot of stuff.
Yeah. Okay. Oh man, the flashbacks of what it used to be. But that's how I am today. My coach is old school. What would you say your philosophy is of being a husband?
Definitely, again, a little bit old school. And, we've talked about this. Women in today's day and age do much more. They've always done a lot. There's no question. But now, they're holding full-time jobs. Some of them are the breadwinners in the family.
Yeah.
And I look at my role as just to provide and to protect, right? Not that Allison can't handle herself, and not that she can't handle, taking care of the boys and protecting, but I look at a husband that I'm there to protect and provide for my family, and just and also be there in a nurturing way when things aren't going, when things aren't going that well, that you want to be there and kind of help out and maybe be, an ear to listen, or, so they can kind of talk to you and you can listen to them and blah, blah, blah. But my big thing is just to provide and protect.
Nice.
Yeah.
So what would you say worries you about being a dad? What are your worries of today?
Again, you and I have talked about this a lot. I think we're raising our kids too soft in this society. I think everything's hand given. Everyone gets a trophy, everyone gets a medal, and it wasn't like that when we grew up. Like it was, you were afraid of failing. In school, like they held kids back. You went to a tournament, and then it wasn't, you got your 3 games and a handshake, and if your team was shit, like there wasn't like, now you move to another round and it's a tournament for losers. Then when you lose that, it's another tournament for losers. And that's my big thing. Like I'm worried that our boys are growing up soft, or children for that matter.
There's definitely boys that are growing up very, very soft.
Yeah.
Kids in general, but boys, it's even worse.
Yeah. And I came home again, if I got in trouble at school or I got detention, which is hard to believe, I know. But if I was yelled at by my teacher and I told my parents reaction was, well, what'd you do?
Yeah.
You must have done something. Like don't yell at you. Nowadays it's, did they scare you when they yelled? Why? This isn't right. Did they raise it like, oh, no, we'll all talk to the principal, but this isn't right. And, my kids, if you screw up or they screw up or they disrespect you and you yelled at them, yell at them. Like you have every right, you know, and then when they get in the car at home, I'll discipline them as well.
Yeah, absolutely. What does discipline look like in your house?
Two opposite ends of the
Is it like the guitar? Go in the corner?
Yeah. No, it's not quite. Allison has a lot more patience.
Keep going. Ladies, I'm about to take my shirt off, okay? So don't get too excited, okay? All right. It's getting hot in here.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? This is the old business Crossfit Pal. And this is a gift that I got from an athlete today. Check this out. Viewers at home, can you see that right there? Right there, personal trainer. Okay, what does that say there? What does that read, Sean?
A multitasking, dedicated ninja who unlocks hidden potential to maximize a client's performance through sweat, tears, and hard work. See also Sadist Fitness Junkie.
Sadist and Fitness Junkie, and then check out the back, guys. You see that back right there? You see that right there? What does it say, Sean?
Thank you for your unwavering dedication to murdering fat.
That's it, eh? Murdering fat with an axe. Sorry, a butcher knife.
There you go.
Pretty good Christmas gift.
That is nice.
Yeah, so we were saying, go on, Sean.
So discipline, yeah, like Allison has obviously a lot more patience. You know, she definitely, you know, when I say has more of a loving hand, I love my boys to death, as every parent does.
A loving hand? Whack, whack, whack!
Yeah. I don't have a lot of patience for nonsense and for kids that don't listen. So, but my boys, and like every parent, I have two great boys, right? So it's they only piss me off once in a while, but they know when Dad gets mad,
it's real.
Watch out.
Remember that commercial you sent me?
Yes. Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
That was a good commercial.
Yeah.
Okay, Sean. What do you think the purpose of your existence is?
Oh, jeez.
Oh, we ain't playing around here, folks. This is Coach B. You thought this was Jimmy Kimmel?
Yeah.
Right? Conan and Brian? This is Coach B. The last thing that's real walking the earth.
So repeat the question.
We're going to give him some time, right? What's the purpose of your existence?
Jeez. You know what? I don't think you really know what your purpose is until you have a family.
Okay.
You kind of waver through life as a kid. You don't know fucking up and down shit from whatever, and then you obviously go through your late teens and early 20s, and you think you're a know-it-all. Like you know better than everybody else.
Yeah, early 20s, same thing. Yeah.
And then there's a great quote. I think it's Mark Twain, says you don't realize how much your parents knew till you turned a certain age, and you kind of realize like, wow, they actually are smart, because you always think you know better. But really, I think the existing, purpose of my existence
is yours.
Again, just to have a loving family, to work hard in life, to enjoy the small things, which I have a very tough time doing. And just love my wife, love my kids, and go through.
What would you say some of those small things that you say you don't enjoy that you should be enjoying? Can you give us some examples of that?
Just spending time with the family. Just, obviously this is a bit of a different time. We're spending a ton of time with our family.
Yeah, we are.
To the point where sometimes Jimmy and I joke where go pick up food, and I'm like, I'll go get it. Like I'll go out and run the errand.
Anything to get out. You are, if you're just tuning in right now, you are watching. This is the year of the COVID, the year of Big Brother shutting everything down. Okay, so we have been very, very limited in our ability to see our family, to see our friends. They're telling us to stay within the confines of our homes, right? And just be around your own family. So if you're watching this 20 years from now, that's what you're watching. It is a COVID, very hot in the middle, heavy video. Go ahead.
Yeah, so Alice and I try to still do date night,
nice.
And it's at home. We'll crack a bottle of wine. I'll have my water and lemon, Coach. I'm not drinking.
Nice, good for you.
Yeah. We try to do little things like Saturday night we kind of put a playlist of songs together that kind of reminded us of certain times.
Oh, nice. That's a good little tip for those that are watching. Okay, playlist for you and your partner.
Yeah, it was just kind of fun, and we kind of opened up a few bottles of wine, little things like that.
A few bottles.
Wow.
It went from one to a few.
It was a long playlist.
Yeah.
But yeah, you just try to enjoy it. And now is a better time than any to enjoy the small stuff. We can't do anything big, right? We can't go out on vacations. We can't do anything, So just little things like that. Just enjoy things that you might not have enjoyed prior to the pandemic.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So now those that are watching, okay, this past summer, all right, Sean was on a bit of narcotics. I'm joking. He wasn't. Maybe it was the bottle of wine. He had challenged Coach B, who's been clocked at a 4:19:40. That was recorded in the year 2000 at the York University Track Center. Tate McKenzie in front of Michael Burgess and Tom Grettis, 4:19:40. So those that know football, that's blistering speed. Probably still faster than the fastest speed at the NFL combine.
Just to give perspective, NFL runners running backs or
wide receivers. That's right.
Shooting like 4.3s, or is the record time?
I think 4.21 was the fastest.
4.22 is actually.
Was it? Yeah. And who was it? It was the running back from the Titans, right?
I can't remember.
Guy with the dreads.
Yeah, but typically 4.3, like people are taking notice. People are like,
yeah, for sure.
They notice.
For those that know Coach B, right? Coach B has jumped a car. Coach B has dunked a basketball at age 42, right? And also many of other things, right? So we're not surprised by this. So in any event, Sean challenged me to a race, right? And I actually thought he was drunk. Okay, I thought he was smoking. But walk us through that. Him challenged us. You guys already know how it ended. I don't need to tell you how it ended. But walk us through your thought process, what you were thinking. You really egged it on. It was actually really good for the gym. There was a lot of hype. We enjoyed it. It was very, very entertaining. But what was going through your mindset?
Well, prior to that, so when people found out we were doing this interview, a lot of people came to me and said, well, this will be an interesting interview.
Yeah.
You and Coach definitely have a unique relationship.
Yeah.
And it just stems from that Coach, I've been here 2 years now.
Yeah.
When my mouth starts running,
it doesn't stop.
It's tough for me to stop. It's so tough for me to keep my mouth shut. And I looked at it. Yes, I knew this was going to be a tough race to win.
Yeah.
I told you the only way I knew I was going to win is if you tripped,
yeah,
slipped, or somehow something happened to you where you could not finish the race. But at the same time, once I started trash talking, and it was kind of fun between the two of us that you and I were trash talking each other, I couldn't stop it. And at the end of the day, and to be truthful, I'm a huge believer. You don't know how fast you are, you don't know how strong you are, you don't know how smart you are until you put yourself up against someone who you think might be stronger, faster, or smarter, right?
Sure.
So it's that old saying, it's the quote we read in the gym in one of our classes, the man in the arena, right?
Yeah. It's
not whether you win or lose, is the fact that you showed up and you tried.
Yeah.
And one of the things that
I like, instead of playing timid.
Yeah, like
soft. And then you don't know if you're hot
I'm not going to back down. And that's one of the things that I appreciate about this place is that you do challenge me. And you'll tell me you can't lift that or you can't do that. I know you're busting my balls, and I know I do the same thing to you. And I'm like, Coach,
and Coach always does.
Coach always does. And I know he's going to do it
very easily.
But I'm trying to get a rise. I'm trying to entertain the class. But when you give me a challenge or you tell me something, I will do everything in my power. When you tell me to put a certain amount of weight on my bar, and I'm like, okay, that's going to be spicy. What are we doing? And then you're like, well, can you do it or not? I'll always say I can do it. Like, don't ever, like, if you told me to put 225 on, we were going to do power cleans.
Yeah.
I'm like, if he thinks I can do it, or even has an inkling that I might be able to do it, I'll do it. I'll try it. Okay. I might go down failing, but I will try.
Nice. That's good. Folks, that's a great lesson. Great lesson. What emotion do you struggle with and what are you doing about to fix it?
Is temper an emotion?
Yeah. Temper's one.
So, like obviously I'm passionate.
Folks, if this is too hot for you to handle, tune out. All right, because shit's steaming up around here.
Yeah, I don't want to get too I do. I guess
because Sean does have a bit of a temper. Now, some of you are like, what is this? Is this a gym workout? Okay, let's just give you a bit of context, okay? Many of you know Coach is a very well-known therapist, okay? And I'm also a fitness trainer, right? I've written multiple books. So I have a combination of fitness and psychology, and essentially that's constantly intertwined with how I converse with you guys, right? It's always coming from a place from fitness, but more importantly, psychology. So this is very normal for me. So go ahead, Sean.
So I do struggle with putting stuff behind me, okay, or not letting stuff go, or if something's bothering me, I wear my feelings on my sleeve. Okay, it doesn't happen too often, but when I'm not in a great mood,
you're gonna know it.
You'll know I'm not in a great mood. Okay, like I'll come through the doors and
but mind you, as of late, I would say probably the last month and a half, he's been pretty good.
Yeah, there's been really, nobody's pissed me off.
Yeah, I haven't pissed him off yet. Yeah.
But it's it's one of those things where what am I doing for it? Like I do, obviously Allison and I try to talk about things that she knows that I struggle with stuff. Like I literally, if shit's not going my way, she knows it's bothering me, whether it be work, whether it be outside of work, whether it be, whatever. She knows that I gotta get over certain stuff and just find ways of putting it in the past.
Yeah.
And recently she actually got me a framed picture of one of my favorite artists. And she hung it at the door, and
Michelangelo, Raphael, Donatello.
No, one of my favorant musical artists.
Oh, musical
artist.
Okay.
And
Celine Dion.
Yeah, Celine, and and the lyric is, "You can't start a fire worrying about your little world falling apart."
Okay.
Right. It's a Bruce Springsteen lyric.
Oh yeah, it's a good lyric.
Right.
Yeah.
So she looked at me and she goes, "You got to stop worrying about the little shit you can't control if you want to get stuff accomplished. So if you want to go and conquer whatever, a workout, job, something in life, you can't worry about everything that's trying to bring you down. So stop worrying about your little world falling apart and get your shit done. And you can start your fire, right? And no better time than the present with the shit that's going on in the world right now.
We're all going through that right now.
You can't worry about that. You got to find a way to do something.
Yeah, I like that. So how do you want to be remembered then, Sean?
Obviously, I want to be remembered as a good person, a guy that, always worked hard, always looked after his friends and buddies and whoever they are, who provided for their family, who was a loving husband, who was a great father, someone you can count on. Someone that when I am gone, or God forbid, that I missed. Like people say, like, yeah, he was a good time. He was a good shit.
Yeah, that's a good one. What would you say your greatest fear is?
I just, in general, failure. I don't like failing at stuff.
Where do you think that stems from? I mean, that's not a unusual one. Lots of people have that. I'd say that's easily, from working with 25,000 people, at least in the top 7.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where do you think that comes from?
Stubbornness. It's always funny. People say you're competitive, and I'm not competitive. And what I mean by that is if you and I went golfing, okay, and you beat me by 20 strokes, I couldn't give a shit. I don't golf. I golf twice a year. So if you and I were to go out and have fun, and you were to even bust my balls and go, hey, I beat you by, I couldn't give a shit. I couldn't care less. Even if you golf once a year and I golf twice, I still don't golf enough to care about it. But when it comes to stuff like this, the gym, whatever I put my heart and soul into, I want to be the best. Like it'll eat away at me that I can't accomplish stuff. And I've gotten better here.
A lot better. When you started off with 10-pound dumbbells? He went from 10s to 65.
I don't think it was 10.
No, it was 30s. It was 30s. It was 30s though. And 30s is not bad from coming from Orange Theory. I mean, you're a tank at Orange Theory with 30s, right? Now he's at 65s, and that's some real shit here, folks. 65s with thrusters, 65s with shoulder press, 65 with squats, man makers, and many other moves. Chest press, that's some decent weight.
So, and I still it still eats me up. But we have a good workout, and you're, if we're working with a bar, and you're like, okay, everyone pick up their bar for 2 minutes. Well, one, mentally, I'm fucked. I'm like, I already know, like my arms are dying. It's going to be tough for me to drive home. Now I got to hold this thing for 2 minutes. So mentally, I got to. But that's still, I've gotten better, but that still eats away at me when I've had a good workout, and that's the last thing that I leave with, that I drop the bar. And I know you come and make fun of me and poke at me and go,
well, do I pick on you, or am I the same with everybody?
On that?
No, in general.
In general, you're the same with everybody.
That's right.
You're the same with everybody.
And I'm so glad you said that, because some of you new athletes would be like, you're picking on me. And it takes quite a bit of time for you to figure out, I'm like, listen, what I say to you is what I say to everybody. Okay. All right. I don't have any favorites. I'm just Coach B, but go on.
Well, for the new athletes, you haven't seen picking on until he, trust me, So, but stuff like that still eats away at me. Like I know it's tough and okay, shit, I dropped it. I'll, blah, blah, blah. But I still go home and I know you sent me a text. Hey, you still had a good workout despite that kerfuffle and this and that. I'm like, but I was pissed that I dropped it.
Yeah.
Right. So like, I just don't like failure. I just, if I try to do something and I put my mind to it, I better do it. Like if I work hard at it, I better succeed.
That's fair. So how are you dealing with when you don't succeed in the moments when you're failing?
You know what? Great question. And I always, I've talked about this in some of our morning kind of, hey, what do you got for us today?
And what Sean's talking about is usually, let's say 9 out of 10 times.
Yeah.
Before we even start a workout, here at our Pickering Fitness Wellness Centre, I will naturally ask, okay, hey, what's going on in the world? And what I mean by that is not news and notes of like what's happening in the media. Give us something positive. Tell us a lesson that you can share with us. Give us something that we can like grab onto so that we can improve our lives. So, and that's how we start usually most classes all the time.
And I actually really like that. Like I love hearing what people have to say about the world or their thoughts or feelings. I love reading quotes and inspirational stuff and listening to speakers. I know you sent me some stuff that I eat that stuff up. So one of the things that I brought up one time is, you know what? Although the internet, as you say, it is a lot of poisonous shit out there. There's a lot of great things and a lot of people you can listen to on YouTube and kind of motivational speakers. And one of the things
who do you listen to?
Like I love Les Brown.
Yeah, Les Brown.
I love Josh Bridges.
Yeah, Josh Bridges.
Like they're probably Josh Bridges and Dan Bailey are my two favorites. And the reason I like those guys is because they're not the best.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like
they haven't won yet.
Yeah, you can listen to the Rich Fronings and the Matt Frasers and the Tia Claire Toomeys, and they're all great. Like they're all, and those are CrossFitters. Like they're all amazing, but they're hands down above everyone. I like the guys that struggle, that might finish 7th, but then give a breakdown of what they could have done better, where they could have,
very interesting.
what went wrong. And they're very modest. Like they don't blame anyone. They don't like, oh, it was because I was injured. Or they're like, listen, this is where I failed. This is what I got to do. Like we talked about, for those, Josh Bridges is an ex-8 Navy SEAL. And one of the events one year was deadlifting 405 in one of the AMRAPs. And he couldn't.
This is one of the ones going way back.
I saw that one. 2012. He couldn't deadlift 405.
They start at 405.
Yeah, he couldn't deadlift 405. And he's like, I got fucking burnt and embarrassed that I couldn't do.
That was like Rich Frowning in his first year, I believe, of CrossFit, where he couldn't climb the rope.
Right. Yeah. Right? So a lot of them struggled with certain things, and he didn't make an excuse. He literally worked all year or the off season to get better at it, and he did it. And that's one of the things. So I listen to those guys and how they need to improve on certain stuff, and we all need to improve, whether it be the gym, life, work, whatever.
Yeah. That's usually how usually people go to the top. I like that. He's not looking at the best of the best, but people are pretty close to the best. What do you think makes you special, Sean?
My stubbornness, I guess. Like,
how would you say you leverage that for your advantage?
I don't let excuses or anything get in my way. I try to go through things. We talked about certain mentalities that I think I have. They don't always show. Like I said, I'm not perfect. I don't trust me when I say this. I know things go off the rails sometimes, but I just think, I look at it like I'm at a certain point in my life where I'm too old to make stupid excuses. I'm not old enough where, I pretend to know everything. So I try to kind of find a happy balance between I'm always wanting to learn, whether it be something you bring us up in class. Like I'm a sponge. Like when you're like, hey, put your feet closer in on presses and stuff, like shit like that. Like when you tell us stuff like that, I'll never say, oh, I know I do it this way because. No, I don't know certain things. You gave me a tip one time of popping a bar off my shoulder just by popping it, and I was like, Jesus, like I looked at you and like that's shit I want to know. Like that's what
the nuances.
That's what you need to teach me to become better. Like, my goal is now to power clean 225. I'm literally telling you, like, what do I need to do? Like, tell me stuff.
Get stronger.
Yeah, get stronger. Thanks, coach.
Yeah. Well, it's true.
No, I know.
Well, what did I do with the 225 when you called me out?
Yeah, I think you pressed it with one arm.
I was like, all right, here you go.
On your finger.
I threw it up. But yeah, go on.
Yeah, so little things like that. Like I'm stubborn. I don't let excuses get in my way. I do try to.
I think I like that. The stubborn in regards to it can be good or bad, but you leverage it for the good. Okay. What would you say the biggest change you want to make in your life in 1 year?
Biggest change.
Yeah. I mean, we're in the year of COVID. Lots of people are going through tremendous changes. A lot of people are making big decisions with where they're going to live, where they're going to move to. Are they going to stay in this job? Are they going to stay in this relationship? Many changes. Yeah. What's the biggest change you want to make in your life in the next 12 months?
I look at my job. I enjoy what I do.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I look at my family. I have no complaints. I got 2 wonderful boys. I got an awesome wife. I would say if it's personally, it's my communication.
Yeah. Oh, well, it's actually just changed. There was no connection to anything.
I look at
communication. What do you mean by that? Elaborate.
Yeah, I got to be better at communicating. You know, and I'm dead serious. Like I know you guys are probably watching this, going like, "Holy shit, you can talk." But again, like I don't. There's times where I don't say shit at home. Like, I
gotcha.
Allison will ask me questions or want to talk, and I'm I don't have much to say. Like I'm pretty quiet, so things like that. What else do I want to change? Like I said, I'm pretty fortunate.
It doesn't have to be anything like that. It could be anything. I don't know, but if you feel like it's communication,
I guess I'm trying to think. Like I said, I have a pretty good home.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah. All right. Is there anything worse than death for you? I find a lot of people are like, "Oh, I'm scared to die," or "I'm afraid to be alone." Is there anything worse than death for you?
No.
No.
That's up there.
Losing
my family.
Okay, that's fair. Are there any mistakes you keep making over and over again?
I continue grabbing 65s.
Yeah. And I'm like Sean, 50s, maybe 55s.
No, you always gave me 65. That's why I grabbed them.
Yeah.
I think at one time it was in 70s. No, mistakes I keep making.
Are there any mistakes? I didn't say you do make mistakes.
No,
are there any mistakes that you keep making over and over again?
No, I think when I say I'm sure I make mistakes.
We're not talking about perfection. We're just talking about something you can be, consistently saying, "Shit, man, what's wrong? I should be on top of that by now."
Why do I do that?
Sorry, I got an eyelash in my eyes. Viewers of the world.
You know what? I make mistakes, but I don't really.
Yeah. What do you consider what success is to you? How do you say this person's successful, or what do you define as success?
Yeah, I know it's going to probably be cliche, but happiness,
Yeah, but what does happiness mean for you?
Again, happy home.
So home, a good home. So you have lots of money, but bad home, that's not successful.
What do you do? Right? That's a miserable life, right?
Okay.
I think having a healthy family.
And I only threw out that money part just because so many people connotate money as success.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
I just wanted to see where you stood, but that's fine. But you can also throw in money. But okay, good home. What else?
Yeah. Healthy family, healthy kids, a healthy relationship.
Mm-hmm.
That's being successful, right? Like those all take hard work.
Okay.
Right. So not necessarily from a monetary value aspect, but there's other things in life that measure success, and it's not just money. And
absolutely, yeah. Okay. If you knew you were going to die in 12 months, what would you change?
Oh, Jesus.
What did he walk into, eh?
Oh, man.
We ain't playing around here. This is harder than the 225 he's struggling.
Yeah.
Right? This is heavy lifting, folks. This is Coach B. Let me tell you something, folks. This is one of those rare videos where you're gonna get authentic, real rawness. Right? This doesn't exist anymore. So if you're watching this video and it's too heavy, turn it off because it's not for you, right? If you're living in a work of fakeness, if you're living in a work of fluff and not dealing with real things that matter. You see, Sean's able to handle this because Sean is centered, okay? Sean is grounded, right? Most people would have taken up and ran away, and I don't blame them, okay? But for those that are trying to change their life, trying to be inspired to see things beyond Facebook and Distractogram and WhatsApp and Pinterest and all these things, right? This is where it's at. This is the real deal here. This is why he won Athlete of the Year. Go ahead, Sean.
So in 12 months, what would I change?
Yeah.
That is a tough one.
Yeah.
You know, maybe bridges I've burned and friendships that I've lost or ruined.
Okay. Is there one that you'd like to talk about? We don't need to get into all of them.
You know, we've all been there. We've all had
For sure.
buddies and friends and stuff that you get into stupid arguments, or like, I have family that necessarily don't see or talk to anymore, and it just stems from generations. Maybe reaching out to them. Life's too short to be arguing and bickering over stupid things.
Mm-hmm.
So just again, maybe reach out to people that Is there anybody you want to reach out to right now that could be watching? No, I still hate everyone. I'm not going anywhere in 12 months.
I tried. Okay. What would you say is the biggest obstacle that stands in your way right now?
From
just in general, anything. Could be the gym, could be your life. I leave these open to you for your own interpretation.
I'm sure, and again, time. Having enough time in the week, and when you work 5 days a week and you got your weekends are packed with kid stuff, I try to make it to the gym, 4 days a week, and then kind of work out once on my own. And, post pandemic, I was here 6 times a week. It's just finding time to complete other stuff and really, maybe find other things that you can do. Maybe, I think time management is something we could all probably be better at or need more time of.
Fair. Now, music. Now, Sean's a big country music person, right?
I'm a big country. I'm a big old R&B fan, as we.
R&B. Okay.
Old R&B.
80s?
No, I'm talking like the Solomon Burkes, the Otis Reddings, the Sam and Daves.
Oh, okay. We're going way back. Okay.
Way back. Stuff I grew up with.
So what's on your playlist?
I'm a huge Bruce Springsteen fan.
Yeah.
So I love Bruce Springsteen. I have a lot of Otis Redding. I have a lot of Al Green. I have a lot of country. I'm a big Alabama fan. They're old country. And then I got shit that that people are like, what the hell are you listening to?
Yeah. Is that like Canadian folk music?
No, it's just it's kind of old country that I grew up on with my dad. That people. Like there's actually a song that I was country when country wasn't cool, and we talked about this. That, 25, 30 years ago, country was not cool. Now, you got rappers, music awards and partnering up with country singers. So I just a lot of stuff that I listen to, I grew up on, which kind of brings back a lot of memories. So,
nice.
Yeah.
Nice. What do you like to do for fun, Sean?
Obviously spend time with my boys and Allison. I love fishing. So I do a lot of fishing in the summertime, or as much as I can with 2 young boys and a wife. Yeah. But I love being on the water. I'm selfish too, and I actually love going out by myself. I love having the boys with me, but if I can go out in a boat by myself with nobody around, I'm at my happiest. Not that I don't love having the boys and Allison.
I get it.
There's no expectations. I don't have to take care of them. I don't have to worry about if they're bored. I don't have to. I go out and I'm
So would you say one is silence better than words? Is that a time when you're fishing?
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah,
I would say so. Yeah.
Yeah. And what does fishing do for you? Because there'd be people who'd be like, "Oh, fishing? Are you kidding me?"
No.
So what does it do for you? Because but there's obviously millions and millions and millions and millions and millions of people that love fishing. What is it about fishing that you can articulate for the viewers? Like golf, like I love golf.
Yeah.
But there'd be so many people like golf. Oh, but I know I could talk about it in great detail. What is it about fishing?
Like anything, like golf, like any type of hobby or pastime sport, it's a challenge for me. And I know people think, I don't know how you sit there all day and throw a bobber over the side of the boat. Well, it's more than that, right? Like I'm competitive in it. I do tournaments, and I'll say spend a day on the water with me. Like you'll have a blast. It's physically and mentally it's grueling. Like people don't understand that you're on the water during a tournament. You can be on the water at 5:30 in the morning. You're not off till 5:30 at night. That's 12 hours in the sun. Yeah, beating off water. So you're not only tired, like I'll say, do a 2-day tournament with me and tell me how you feel Monday.
Yeah.
You are done.
They're done.
Your
Yeah.
back
I
hurts,
believe
you're
it.
sore, you're tired, you're burnt. And I love it. It's just, again, it's like putting a puzzle together for me. It's very challenging.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. What's the first thought you have, Sean, in the morning and the last that you have at night?
I'm a late, I go to bed late, so I'll start with the last thought I always have. So Allison typically goes to bed roughly when the boys do. So around 9:30,
Okay.
everyone's in bed. I don't go to bed till about 12 to 12:30 at night.
Mm.
My last thought is every time I walk up the stairs, I just think I love my boys.
Yeah. That's fair. And then what do you think about in the morning?
I gotta fucking work out with Brian.
Woo! That's right. We ain't
No,
yeah.
I honestly,
It's a tough gig here, folks. We're not playing around here.
It is. I mentally.
You gotta get your mind right with Coach B.
I mentally start getting myself prepared, and people know. You know me. I'm not a habit of change.
Yeah.
I do the same thing every morning. I work out in the same spot. I try to park in the same spot. I try to set up my shit the same way every time I'm at the gym.
Yeah, routine.
It's routine. So first thing I do is I start thinking about how I start my day with a glass of water, lemon, and a turmeric pill, and then I start my breath. So I'm already thinking about stuff I got to do to start getting myself mentally prepared.
Nice.
And I get up an hour and 20 minutes before I actually come here.
Yeah.
So I got a lot on my mind of what I got to do
to
get my shit together.
You gotta get your shit together here, folks. You gotta get it together
before I start lifting weights.
How would life be different if you were born the opposite gender?
Oh boy.
That's for you, Jimmy. Jimmy,
was that Jimmy?
Yeah, Jimmy put in that question. So, our viewers had asked for that question. Jim, Lush, thank you.
I don't think much would change. I think I'd be very similar to the person I am today. I think other than obviously a few things, I don't think much would change. I think I'd be the same person. I think I'd be the outspoken, stubborn, temperamental.
Well, you'd have red high heels on, wouldn't you?
I would, of course, I would work it out. Definitely. That's a good one. Thanks, Jimmy.
Okay.
That was Jimmy's question.
So, Sean, is this a pandemic or a pandemic?
I have mixed emotions.
We're just at the tail end of our interview. Paper's gone. We're still in COVID, right? What are your thoughts on this whole COVID stuff? Like right now, it's not CP24.
Yeah.
This is not Facebook. This is not CNN, right? We're not looking for that political bullshit. Now, if you are that, that's fine, because Coach B's not job to convince you. I just want to know real authentic, because our viewers at home, they know that when they tune in, it's one of the few moments in their life that stuff is real. So share with me.
Okay. When I say it's blown out of proportion, okay, I think this could be nipped in the bud if everybody had common sense.
Okay.
Okay. I really do think, I don't think it's spreading in the restaurants, the small
gyms
businesses,
and all
the
that
gyms.
stuff. Yeah.
I think that's a crock of shit.
Mm-hmm.
I think the safest place for our children is school. Okay, because there are strict guidelines, and I think it's being, the disease is being transmitted outside in social settings that people are just not being smart about. They're not following guidelines. I think if we followed guidelines and did the proper things, I'm not saying it would be perfect, but it'd be better off than we are now. Like coming in here, we're all 6 feet apart, 8 feet apart, more or less.
Yeah. Plus, we're all also have our own bubble here too.
Yeah,
like it's the same of us.
It's the same group. We we talk to each other with masks on and things like that. And same with small businesses. Small businesses you're a small business, right? Technically, they go above and beyond protocols and things like that. So true. To say it's a pandemic or a pandemic, I just think it's unfortunate that common sense kind of eludes us here and there with certain.
How do you feel about the fact that there could be mandatory vaccines and they're going to put that in you?
Yeah, that's another tough one because I've never had the flu shot.
Yeah, I know. So they're going to say, Sean, in order for you to have your civil liberties, you're going to need this like a driver's license. Otherwise, it expires. How do you feel?
Yeah, I don't necessarily agree with it.
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about the vaccine and what the side effects are,
Yeah.
or I don't pretend. I've said this since day one. I don't claim to know shit about shit.
No, I know, but you're a healthy guy though.
Yeah, I don't know that it's, I know that'd be tough. It's gonna be very tough if someone says you have to take it. Like if someone said I have to take the flu shot, I'd be like, no, I don't.
Yeah. I mean, this is where it's heading.
No, I know.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be
some tough questions, folks.
That'd be a tough one.
There's some tough things for you guys to answer, and you know what? This was a tough interview for a tough dude. Okay, so you know what? I want to thank Sean. Okay, Sean, we shake here.
Yeah.
All right, because stuff's still real around here. All right, and I want to thank Sean for being here. Like I said, the reigning Athlete of the Year, Pickering Fitness Wellness Center. He answers some tough questions. I know there's a lot of people right there that are watching this right now. You are sweating, saying, "Boy, I wish I wasn't on that hot seat." But you know what? Sean's still here and he's still kicking. And this is as tough as you can get. So I want to thank Sean for being here. All right, and I hope that on Coffee and Tea with Coach B, that you got some really good value, some things that you can apply to your life so that you can change your life. And peace be with you. All right, Sean. Good stuff, buddy.
Well, that was good. Thank you.